Do you know what scares me the most? Not old age. What scares me is that one day someone will look at my life and say, "Poor woman. She ended up alone." I heard those words on my 68th birthday. My neighbor's daughter-in-law said them. She didn't realize I was standing nearby. It's sad. She's all alone. I smiled and walked past her. But that evening, I sat on my porch with a cup of tea and thought about it for a long time. Was that really how people saw me? It had been 12 years since my husband passed away. We had been married for 41 years. After he was gone, many people assumed I would quickly find someone new. They encouraged me to date, invited me to social gatherings, and handed me phone numbers of single men. I honestly tried. I went to a few dinners. I had conversations with some genuinely kind men. And then I realized something simple. I wasn't in a hurry. For the first time in decades, I could wake up in the morning and spend the day exactly the way I wanted. Without negotiations. Without adjusting my plans. Without feeling obligated to fit my life around someone else's habits. At first, I thought it was temporary. Then a year passed. Then 5. Then 10. And I still loved my life. I took small trips. I read books until 2 in the morning. Sometimes I would get into my car and drive to the ocean simply because I felt like watching the sunset. Yet there were moments when other people's questions made me doubt myself. Especially one question. Aren't you afraid of growing old alone? Many people asked it. And every time, I gave the same answer. Sometimes I am. Because it was the truth. Everyone feels afraid sometimes. People with families do too. Fear doesn't care about your relationship status. Then one day, something happened that changed the way I saw everything. At a medical appointment, I met a woman named Margaret. She was 74. She had spent her entire life married. She had children, grandchildren, and a large home. While we were waiting to see the doctor, she suddenly said, "Do you know what I envy about you?" I was surprised. "What?" She smiled. "Your freedom." It turned out that after her husband's death, she had found herself alone for the first time in her life and had no idea what to do with it. She had spent decades caring for everyone around her. She had rarely stopped to think about herself. And in that moment, I understood something important. Loneliness and living alone are not the same thing. A person can live in a house full of people and still feel empty. A person can sit alone by the ocean and feel completely at peace. When I turned 70, I hosted a small celebration. Friends, neighbors, and former coworkers came. At one point, a woman raised her glass and said, "To Evelyn." To a woman who knows how to be happy in her own company. Everyone laughed and joined the toast. And suddenly, I felt that old fear disappear. Because happiness has never been measured by the number of people standing beside you. Sometimes the greatest luxury in life is learning to hear your own voice and not be afraid of the silence. And if someone ever says about me again, "She ended up alone," I'll simply smile. Because the truth sounds very different. I didn't end up alone. I finally learned how to be with myself.